Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Absolutely beautiful, sir.
We honor the supreme being.
I would like to take a turn of that if you wouldn't care, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having so much euphoria right now on Kava.
Sacred plants.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That's it, dude.
May we come forth this afternoon to harness the lightning for hire and to do the best of our ability in the great work. The only thing that we are even here for.
Yeah.
It is so great to be having a
It's
conversation
amazing.
with you.
It's been a little minute.
I want to say it has been a minute. I don't think I've had a kava hit me as hard as it has right now.
Yep.
And what a perfect time.
Yeah. When I did it for the first time in a while yesterday, I noticed that when I got to like 4 to 5 shows, like it started to like almost be permanent. Like it lasts a long time when you do it like the stagger them.
Cold hands,
Yeah.
I just want to say, if anybody watches this video, I'm sure no matter where you really live at, the plant kava, whatever, may not be a very popular, talked about plant drug.
And dude, me as not to interrupt,
absolutely.
as a pretty poor person, from all standards of society, I still devote $150 to get this because I hate the mentality of, well, why would you buy kava when you can go to the gas station and buy alcohol? And they both interact with the same receptors, but it's not completely true. Alcohol interacts with the NMDA receptors as well. Kava interacts with the GABA receptors and cannabinoid receptors.
Oh, wow. I promise to you.
But it's not toxic.
I promise to you, kava is so holy and magical.
I would rather spend more money and not damage my body or mind.
Let's just real quick get this out of the way. Me and him. We have this holy bag.
We can do an ad real quick for him.
Of kava. And let us just say, we will never drink the stupid culture alcohol.
No.
Because we feel so amazing on this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I could not feel better right now.
I know. Yep.
I just, thank you, Kava. It's going to be a
comes
great
in
call.
Clutch.
It comes in clutch. I forgot. See, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
since
I've
actually taken this plant. Right. But let me just say, I am home. I am wrapped up in a blanket by the goddess.
Yep, me too.
Krishna is rocking me to a very blissful sleep. And I know for a fact, if I was sick and Krishna was taking care of me, this would be the medicine.
Want to hear something
they would bring forth? Absolutely.
There is a story in the Vedas, which was, so I'm reading the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Which we need to get into later as well.
I've just started it. I've read pretty much all of the Bhagavad Gita, so I have an idea of the cosmology of the religion. But there's this story in the Vedas, which is I'm not even sure exactly if this is a part of the Vedas. I don't think it is. But it's a Hindu holy scriptures. But there's this story in one of them about Krishna and how, so, like, on the Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes,
that
sir.
planet, this planet right here, that is the original spiritual planet, and it's called Goloka. Something Goloka, it starts with a V, Verdana or something. Goloka, and this planet is the original spiritual planet, and it's the abode of Krishna. Krishna lives there. But in one of these ancient scriptures, it talks about this is so crazy, dude. And this is so like foreign to like Christian thought. Okay, so Krishna, you probably not expecting this, but Krishna, would play the flute, and people would just, follow him. And dude, there's this idea in Buddhism, that's very controversial, which is that you kind of have to abandon your family to do the spiritual work. Not that doesn't mean
no,
like
absolutely,
totally bad, but
absolutely.
but that comes before the anything.
You know what? That's the truth,
Right?
And a lot of people don't want to come to that truth
Because that's
let's,
real.
Let's look at this for a second. Actually, the great Terence McKenna, he had problems, in his marriage, and a lot of people talked about this. And,
yeah.
He was doing the great work.
Yes, he was.
He was obviously, taking high, amounts of psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
He was experimenting. He was communicating through the astral realm.
It's so astonishing.
The truth is, like,
mm-hmm.
if you have a family, unless your particular family members happen to be on the same path
mm-hmm.
as you,
right.
If that's not the case, for example, me and my brother here, we come
mm-hmm.
forth at least once a week,
mm-hmm.
just simply because we don't really just like hang out.
mm-hmm.
We get loaded on kava,
yeah,
and we discuss a great many of things from
mm-hmm.
death to what we could possibly be doing now. But if your family's not after the great work, then the truth is you're probably going to be doing a little isolation away from them, and it's nothing wrong with that.
No,
this is what we're here for. Yeah. We're not saying to be dicks to anybody, right. Obviously,
no.
But this is the main point, and
I think another aspect of this is that I love Ram Dass, and he talks about honoring your incarnation. And
that's another side.
That's another side to it. So you have this, base reality, and whatever base reality is, it is sure in the hell isn't this, because what we are experiencing right now is the filtration of our very advanced neurology. So reality is coming through, and our brains are reconstructing it, so that we're more aware of threats, and we're more, able to survive. So obviously this isn't fucking reality. And when you get loaded on plants, that reality becomes more apparent. And I think that, but I didn't finish that Krishna story.
Yes, sir. I got a little off track.
All good. I brought up the family thing. I know that's a controversial thing, but like I said, on the flip side, you gotta honor your incarnation, and if you have a child, if you have a family, you gotta take care of that, and that's part of it, and that can be yoga. Like there's nothing in this world that you can't work with mm-hmm. and derive spiritual teachings from. And a child is one of the biggest. It's a huge one. It's one of the biggest miracles you can witness. It's insane seeing that.
Absolutely.
I've never went through it, but I could imagine.
Yes, sir. Going back to dedicating yourself to the great work, you're absolutely like, that's no better way to put it, and it's sometimes hard to talk about to a complete stranger. Yeah. It is what we're here for. Now what happens is our spirit is called at eventually some lifetime. Something draws it. It could be something like a song, it could be a book. It could just be fucking looking up at the sky in the middle of the night, and you just think, hey,
and it just hits you.
It hits you.
You know, when you are. That's the thing. Most of the time, these revelations come when you're alone. You know, you have to. You know, I think that it would be beneficial for most everyone to take some time and be alone and be quiet.
Here's the thing: you can't force somebody to start going after the great work. For example, my wife that I've been married to for a great many of years, she considers the great work. Me reading holy books, coming over with him, and doing things, she considers this to be honest, a distraction. Now, I obviously, at the same time, work really hard to meet the criterion of what I need to do, and obviously a marriage.
Right.
And it's amazing. But on the other hand,
that's a huge teaching, man. Just living with someone.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially someone who looks at the truth differently than you do. I'm not saying she's against, you know, anything we talk about or anything. She just feels that it's unnecessary for whatever reason. Yeah. At least, hopefully, her opinion will change, you know, over the years or sooner.
Yeah.
And if it don't, that's okay.
I mean, there's plenty of time. We have eternity to play with. I think we probably want to get out of here as soon as possible, though.
That's the thing. Now, to be honest, real quick, we want to say we're going to bounce around a lot of different ideas and things today. We would like to. We joked about this last time we was together. We would like to call ourselves a ceremonious magician, an alchemist. A lot of different philosopher, but at the end of the day, we're probably, at least to me anyway. At the end of the day, you know, I explore a lot of different themes, but at the end of the day, I'm
not committed to anything.
Just a philosopher and a free thinker.
Exactly, and I think that's the best way to be. Because as soon as you commit yourself to an ideology, any ideology,
you could possibly jump into another
trap.
You know, trap.
But, you know, it might seem appealing from the outside, but in reality, it, you know, might have a basis in delusion or, you know, and it's hard to.
You're just floating a little bit above the rest of the masses. I love that saying so much.
You know, I think that we should shed ideology and go into studying, you know, the greats from the past and their insights, and read it with a free mind, not totally devoted.
See, there's a lot of different ways to express yourself, feel better about the circumstances we're in, and there's a lot of different ways to go deep with this. One is to do a lot of writing, and not like this proper type of writing where everything has to be a certain way, but just kind of rant about whatever your heart's kind of pointing you toward.
That's my method. Is I like to get loaded on sacred plants, whether it's metragenine or kava or cannabis, and I get loaded on the plants, and I write. And I write the way you're talking about, which is.
I'm sure you probably have some writings to show me.
I do have some writings to show you, actually. I brought it, I think, here somewhere. Yeah, right there.
And, you know, another thing I want to say is listening to lectures or just reading. Yeah. But a big one that people forget is a lot of philosophers. I think Socrates was one of them. I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He was more into just talking.
Right.
He was one of the most.
He loved to go around and ask people questions. You told me that, and I read that.
He evidently made a lot of people. They called him like a horsefly or something like that. Maybe a gnatfly. You know how like summertime, like they're always all around you. They called him that because he was like so annoying. People would be in the village doing their shopping, and here he would come up asking, "Hey, what's your opinion about the mysteries of the universe?" And he said that he feels that talking is something that people need to do more about this.
I want to interject here. I had something to say about Socrates, but I want to say this first. I was listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson. I know a lot of people don't like him. He has controversial opinions on like transgender and stuff like that. So people obviously uh, give him a hard time over that. But if you know, free yourself for a moment of your opinion of whatever that is and listen to him, he says a lot of amazing things and has a lot of amazing insight. I've been watching his lectures from like 2015, 2016, and they're brilliant and they're full of insight, psychological insight. But he talked about um, the importance of talking to people,
Something that
people that you connect with, and talking out your ideas.
something
That's so important because you can't quite recreate that by yourself.
can't, and
It's impossible.
it seems to be something that's diminishing all the time.
Yeah,
It's just the way
we're
it
becoming
is.
more and more consumeristic, and are losing our creative.
People say
sense.
that this is progress, that we are.
I'd say it's regress.
It's definitely regress. That the truth is, and we actually had a conversation, a deep conversation, maybe a month ago. He showed me some pretty disturbing YouTube videos about a gentleman who was trying to make a statement about artificial intelligence and about the extent people will go just to have the latest of everything.
Yeah.
And people are trying to make their lives more comfortable, but in reality, they're, take social media, for example. There's nothing social about it.
No.
It's quite easy
hiding behind a
to
screen.
hide behind a screen and say whatever you want to. But
dogging people and saying nasty things to people.
Nobody. Okay, say you had something nasty to say to somebody.
You wouldn't say that to their face, though.
You wouldn't say that. Maybe back in the day, you would.
No.
But you're not going to do it now.
Because people are conditioned to sit back behind a keyboard.
Now, it does seem interesting. And look, I'm going to go a little bit kind of crazy here for a second and go to some off the wall stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that it makes our incarnation a little bit more interesting than our ones before, simply because of the internet and social media and things like this. You see, we have a lot of things to keep our mind busy, and it just seems very obvious to me. Very obvious that, again, bear with me, guys. I promise you, we're out there. We're crazy, but we're not that crazy, I assure you.
Crazy according to cultural standards.
But I do feel that we've definitely been on this merry-go-round before of life being a so-called human.
Yeah.
And I do feel that we have a lot of distractions.
Even me and you, me and you, and everyone
have a lot of the same.
We don't have social media and stuff like that.
A lot of people do.
But just even having a job.
Just having a job.
Which is what, most everybody probably watching this has to have a job. Like most people are not content creators.
If you don't have a job, then I'm so happy for you.
Dude, this is what I tell people all the time. Dylan, my friend.
Right.
When he works at home and he tells me all the time when I see him, like, I need to get a job. I feel bad,
And
I tell him, I tell him all the time. I said, dude, I'm telling you, you got it made right now.
Don't
I said, you don't want that, dude.
Yeah, you don't.
Getting piss tested and all that.
You don't want that. No.
If you can make it without, if you can make it minimizing your interaction with culture, I applaud you.
Absolutely.
People like to think that having a job is a virtue. I think that it's a distraction most of the time. You got to do what you got to do too. So if you have a family and you got to make sacrifices sometimes. But if you can help it, you should probably try to avoid, being in that. Is my ID in there?
Is that your new one?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you need that then.
I do need that. I don't know why that's in there.
You know, let's just take the Great Beast 666, Aleister Crowley, for example. He never had to worry about a stupid job. You know, he was able to go directly into the great work at a very young age, and he lived off a inheritance until his death back in the 40s. And I mean, I wonder what would have been different if he wouldn't have had. My imagine is he would have still went pretty deep with this great work. The thing is, we can't let having a job or any other.
Right.
I mean, like
you have to maintain this mindset of, first of all, you have to establish what you feel is valuable. And this is what Nietzsche talked about. Yeah. Nietzsche talked about we need to break down, dissolve all of the cultural notions of what is valuable, and then erect values based on the individual and what the individual feels is valuable, not the state.
You know, now I want to ask a question, and I want to answer it the best way possible. Maybe you can too. But if you was going to if you decided you woke up and you're going to fully devote yourself to the great work, how do you know that you was actually called to do the great work by the celestial team, the Krishna, and the Spirit's God? I feel that, and this is not just talk, this is, actual, this is what you feel and hear, as cheesy as people say.
And in Buddhism, they say your intuitive heart.
You're deep into your heart. It's that the great work is like an addiction to you.
Yes.
And that's truly the way I know he feels.
Yes.
And the way I feel. I will be at work thinking about the next time we get together to throw these philosophies on the table. And maybe I've learned something. You have learned something since we've been together last.
Right.
Now, most likely when you start the great work, you're going to feel it could just possibly be you.
Right.
And what a privilege it is if you can have two heads together. And really putting this stuff out there. It's been a while since we've gotten together, and I've had a lot of things build up. So it's so great to be doing this, and I'm sure you probably may read a little bit of this.
Honestly, I might read some to the camera.
I do want to say this.
Yes, sir.
I've had a lot of time. Obviously, we're in like the middle of winter right now.
Yeah.
And I just want to real quick make an introduction, and I need to step out of the way for a little bit because I've been Kava rambling. I forgot how much Kava makes you ramble like a motherfucker. And by the way, we had a channel called Culture Is Not Your Friend, and
my phone broke, and I was unable to recover my Google account. So now I have a new one.
So this is our first video for a brand new channel, but our other channel, we cover topics such as kratom, the benefits of powdered, regular kratom, the spiritual benefits of powdered kratom, and we have we've talked about holy sacred kava. We've talked about cannabis experiences. He has shared his psychedelic psilocybin, LSD experiences, a lot of among many other things. We've talked about occult, ceremonious magic,
operations of occultism,
just mysticism in general. Aleister Crowley, Terence McKenna, Ram Dass, all the fucking greats that just make me so horny.
Me too.
And we'll probably be talking about a lot of the same, obviously, types of things here.
Mysticism and things of that nature.
Mysticism is the thing. That's what's true. Mysticism will help truthfully prepare you for death.
Yeah.
It's
one of the main aspects of it, I think,
when
is exploring that.
when I was growing up as a kid, um, I've never been more scared of death. Granted, lately I've been pretty scared of death.
I've had a few
talk about those
episodes.
too.
Yeah.
But the way culture prepares people for death.
Oh, it's insane, isn't it?
It's
Dude, look at the way hospitals.
Yeah.
Dude, they will lie
Yep.
and say you're okay, you're gonna make it, and they know damn well you're gonna die. And it's insane,
Look, let's just say this. This is where the medical system is wrong.
Yeah.
That death is looked at as some type of crime.
Right, or error.
This says, one of my favorite quotes of all time, the beautiful Alan Watts said, a death is as natural as the leaves falling off the trees in autumn.
Exactly.
And to put it better than that, I simply
couldn't. Imagine that you know for a fact that you're dying soon. And imagine what that would do. I know.
I think when the time comes, we're going to go into this natural state.
It seems like it.
Because a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and then a couple days ago, late at night, couldn't sleep, insomnia, and death hit me really hard. And I started thinking how crazy it is. It's not going to be long at all.
No.
We're going to be fucking 40 years old.
Me and you are still young people, but we can extrapolate. We see how fast our short life has been.
Absolutely.
And we can extrapolate and be like, oh, I can see that I'll be old like that, and I'll be saying, wow, where did time go? Just like all the other old people that's in our lives.
And I want to tell you this. This is what got me scared, brother. Very scared.
Yeah.
I was wanting to control. I thought about you deeply that night. And I thought how I couldn't stand. This is the part I couldn't stand about you being dead. Besides, obviously, our love for each other and the fear that I feel that would sit in not being able to discuss the great work with you and having to process these like selfishness. This sounds like revelations alone. Trying to crack the code. But what disturbed me was thinking about like your body rotting.
Yes.
Like the body that I'm talking to right now that I shake hands with every time I come here, like that.
One day, this hand that you just shook will be cold and decaying.
That when I start thinking late at night,
because we're so attached to each other, and that's normal.
And you know what? I thought the same thing, about myself. Like I couldn't imagine, like just not being able to like move, and
that line of thought right there, man, is like, it's no big news. Like we all know that, but when you think about it,
that's the thing. People don't think about it anymore.
It's mind blowing. Like
it seemed like back in the day, you read things, people talked more about death. It's become this very taboo subject.
It has,
as though you're talking about like kinks and sex or something like that, which also shouldn't be taboo.
100%.
Because it's how we're all fucking here anyway. But anyway, it's funny because Kava will start getting you to those places again. But thankfully it does it in a very pleasurable way. It almost does it in a way that I don't really care, because I know that this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is a temporary place to learn.
Yes.
And
dude, I really do believe that the universe that we find ourselves in is a perfectly, lawfully unfolding process for us to resolve our karma. I really do believe that. I think that this universe is a stage for us to learn and do the things that we need to do in our lives. And And that idea right there is a revolutionary idea. The idea that in a matter of fact, everything is perfect. Even the worst things that happen is perfectly lawfully unfolding. Let's see, 30 minutes.